Spoilers for Bridgerton Season 4, Part 1. Why was Benedict asking Sophie to be his mistress so diabolical, but also the best that that poor little rich boy could do? Because I know a lot of y'all are like me, and when he dropped that line, you were like, Benedict, what the f? Our reactions are justified, but that's only because we are looking at it through the lens of modern boyism. And true, Benedict is a rake, which is Regency slang for boy. But he really is trying his best with Sophie. Let me explain. Benedict comes from a titled family. Sophie is a maid. Her lore actually goes deeper than that, but we're gonna circle back around to it in a bit. Just know that he is nobility and she is working class, so they can never be married. One does not marry beneath their class. It is very frowned upon. But what is less frowned upon is a man marrying appropriately but taking a mistress on the side. You remember when Benedict was chopping it up with his boy at Lord Cavender's party, and the man was smitten because, as he revealed to Benedict, he could not marry the woman that he loved, so he took her as his mistress. Like, for some, this was an ideal scenario, and it got Benedict to thinking, which I will add is not the strong point of the Bridgerton men. But I imagine that for Sophie, as Benedict Bridgerton's mistress, she would be housed. That man is definitely putting her up in a fully funded, fully furnished, probably fully staffed apartment somewhere that his family probably already owns. And she's gonna get the doll treatment because he's not gonna have his woman out there looking raggedy, so she's gonna get sent to the modiste for wardrobe. And she probably would have received an allowance to do whatever she wanted in her ample free time. Again, I haven't read the books. I'm just assuming that that's how a gentleman like a Benedict would move. So why isn't Sophie jumping on it? Girl, he's trying to take you out of the workforce. That is the dream. Oh, but hold on. Because even though Sophie has noble blood because her father, Lord Penwood, was titled, Sophie's mother was a maid, Lord Penwood's mistress. And remember, Sophie's mama died, so then she became Lord Penwood's ward, which means he took her in, took care of her, which is why she was so well read and so educated. But she couldn't even call her daddy. And when new wife Araminta found out that her new husband had a secret love child that he did not tell her about, that she was expected to take care of, I would be upset too. Then Araminta took it too far and she started to get cruel towards Sophie. So all in all, Sophie sees what happens when classes collide this way. She is the very product of a nobleman and a maid hooking up and creating a child, and her life has been objectively terrible. Not that I believe that Benedict would behave like Lord Penwood, rest in poop, but it does go deeper than that. As a mistress, I don't think that Sophie would ever be accepted by society, and that's if she lives in the town at all, because what am I thinking? They're probably gonna have her out in the countryside over at my cottage with Mr. and Mrs. Crabtree. So she would see Benedict maybe a couple times a year after he fulfilled his duties in the city with his wife and his legitimate children. And now we know why Sophie left that man mouth breathing on the stairs. Girl, yes, go out and drink with your friends instead.